In this video, I'm going to discuss pieces of equipment I've purchased that have been milestones in improving and beautifying the looks of my property while my Bobcat E42 excavator loads over 200 stumps into my F550 dump truck to take them to the recycling center. Hope you enjoyed the video, Marauders, and welcome back to the channel.
So this was a win.
Marauders, welcome back to the channel. This is a huge milestone. I'm hauling off 200 stumps in this area of my property from where I cut down the trees. I piled them all in this little area of my property, and I'm loading them on the F550 to take to the recycling center, probably about a 10-minute truck drive away. And stumps of all different sizes, from very small stumps you could pick up with your two hands and throw them in the back of this truck. And then there's a series of stumps, some of which you saw loaded in the intro, that are almost at the lifting capacity of this excavator at over 4,000 pounds. And you can feel it in the seat of your pants as the machine rocks as you're loading the stumps. Catch up with you a little later in the video.
Pretty neat facility, actually quite huge. That's the tub grinder. Amazing.
This is an extremely heavy stump. This is a stump that's probably close to 4,000 pounds. You can feel it actually rocking the excavator, getting light in the seat of your pants and tipping forward as I'm trying to be delicate moving the stump. Watch the truck move as I load it in. Pretty impressive excavator. Okay, I quickly throw some smaller stumps into the back of the truck, and then here is another very, very heavy stump, and press so much with the thumb on this excavator and watch the truck move as I try to carefully put this stump in the back of the truck, not to damage the truck. This is an F550 dump truck. Just look at the truck move around. Very impressive machine. There's been some pieces of equipment that have been milestones in my property. When I purchased the property, I had an open station John Deere 3 Series, which really helped me do the landscaping on the property and also some minor tree clearing and make actually the yard, about an acre of my yard, look very nice. Then in Western New York, we had an October storm in 2006, and my wooded areas of my property looked like someone dropped a pile of toothpicks on it. You couldn't even walk through my property, let alone drive an off-road vehicle through it. And for 6 months, I worked on clearing my property with a chainsaw, where the only vehicle that I could get in and out of the wet areas of the property, and I purchased it for this, was a Polaris Ranger, and it was just outstanding. Cutting up the trees into 16-foot length, I moved 18 truckloads, 10-wheeler truckloads of trees out of my woods to the street for the town to pick up. Only an off-road vehicle like the Polaris Ranger could have moved that wood to the street through the muddy areas of my property. It was truly amazing. It was a ton of work. I lost a ton of weight doing that. And I'll talk about the next milestones and equipment on my property after this short section of video on the processing center. The processing center is about 10-15 minute truck ride from my house, and it's the only place I know of that would take these stumps. And off in the distance you'll see the tub grinder as I drive towards it. So thankful that this company manages this process center for the neighboring town, and just people, commercial companies and people like myself working on their properties on the weekends and at night, bringing material here to be recycled. And it goes anything from compost to mulch. And as I dump this truck, you'll see that the excavator, which is just over the pile of brush in my truck, wow, it has a flag on it. That's awesome. The excavator off in the distance is loading a giant tub grinder that's grinding up these stumps and also logs, everything, grinding up the stumps to be used as mulch or even compost for people to put in their yards. So, hats off. I love recycling, and it's taking this wood that I want to get off my site, and it's putting it to good use for someone else and making their property beautiful. It doesn't get much better than that. Next milestone piece of machinery on my property was upgrading the John Deere 3 Series tractor to a cab 3 Series tractor. Just really motivated me to do even more work on my property, clean up my woods, get dead trees out of it, and also to start my YouTube channel, which really the tractor, the 3046R cab tractor is the star of my channel. Here is another very heavy stump that I'm going to load into the back of the F550 dump truck. You can see the cab shaking, rocking back and forth on the excavator, and I'm being careful to drop the blade to stabilize the excavator as I move it, because it's just that tippy. And remember, I have a 1,000-pound counterweight on the back. Here we go. Truck shakes a little bit. I don't think that was a 4,000-pound stump. It's probably 2,500-pound stumps. Really didn't move the dump truck much. I must be improving with the use of this machine, because I didn't break at the boards on the dump body of the truck. I was pretty impressed with that. So I am getting better. And I do have time in an excavator prior to using this Bobcat E42, because you've seen in videos, I spent many hours on this property and on my first house using my company's 25-ton Komatsu excavator, which just has a huge bucket on it. I think the bucket's 1.5 yards on that excavator. Just a monster machine. So the next milestone was the Ferris zero-turn mower. Really, my lawn has never looked better since I purchased the Ferris zero-turn mower. Another interesting view pulling out of this section of my property from the dump bed of the F550 on its way to the processing center with another load. But the Ferris really was another turning point in my property that just turned my lawn around. I've used it probably as much as a brush hog as I have a lawnmower for my property, and that's been a remarkable machine.
Look at that mound. That's going to be 50 feet. The company taking the stumps asked me to get as much of the dirt off the stumps as I could. That wasn't very graceful. The thing has so much power and it's so fast. So I'm trying to get as much of the dirt as I can off these stumps. It's not good for their tub grinder, and so I got to take the dirt off these stumps. I'm gonna drop it one more time. I picked it clean. by the way, I don't want to take the dirt off my site, off my property, so. Whoa.
So the last milestone piece of equipment for my property, without a doubt, as you can guess, is the Bobcat E42 R2 excavator. It has just been something I can't imagine maintaining this property without. It has been outstanding. This might shock some of you, but it actually has become more important than my tractor. I thought I never would say that. It's a great machine, and it's made beautifying this section of my property much easier. I apologize, my videos haven't been putting them up as frequently as I should. I have not been feeling well, and when I get sick, my blood sugar goes out of whack, and then I have multiple problems to deal with when that happens. But I thank you for your patience, and thank you for watching, coming back to my channel. I wish all of you good health and happiness. Thank you.